Hi besties, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about all the books I read in June, which, to be honest, not a lot. It was a very hectic month, last month of school, so there was really not a lot of reading done. So we only have 3 books to talk about, but July will have a lot more. Okay, so the first book I read was The Dixon Rule, and if you guys know, Elle Kennedy has always been my favorite author. I've loved her books. Deal was like the first book I read that I was literally giggling out loud. And The Dixon Rule, I don't know. I felt like I really liked this book. I did. The last 100 pages or so had me hooked. But I don't know, I felt like this book was a lot different than the rest of her books. Or maybe that's just me, because I feel like when you read so many books of an author, you kind of just get used to the way they write, and it kind of seems repetitive, which is how I felt about this book. The Dixon Rule follows Shane and Diana, the best friends from the Graham Effect, his best friend and her best friend from this book. And it's kind of like, I want to say like an enemies to lovers, but it's a romance, so like, they really don't like each other. He moves in right next door to her place. So there's forced proximity, there's fake dating, there's... what else is there? I was gonna say rivals, but like they're really not. But they really don't like each other in the beginning. I'll leave it at that. I annotated a little bit, definitely highlighted somewhat throughout, but yeah. And then I had the honor of being sent this short story by the author Danielle Vaccaro called One Way Ticket to Earth. It's about this little boy who was 10 years old. His name is Max, and he was really sick. I don't remember exactly what he had, but I remember he was sick, and he ended up dying and was reborn on a different planet called Antern. And I rated this 4 stars. I forgot to say that. But it's kind of just a 25-page short story following Max and his journey of wanting to go back to Earth and reunite with his family. And I really think it is a really good, interesting science fiction story, but my genre isn't really science fiction. Like, that's not like something I usually read. But if that was like my favorite genre, I would have liked it a lot more. I rated that one 3 stars, but if that seems interesting to you, you should check it out. And then I read Magnolia Parks. Wow, guys. If it wasn't for the TBR jar, I wouldn't have read this. I really wouldn't have. But I am so glad I did, because this was so good. I listened mostly to the audio of it, but wow. This was amazing. It's like, I don't even know how to explain, because it's 2 people, they're so toxic for each other, but yet they're so right for each other, and it's just like, it's insane. It's insane reading about their relationship. I really recommend this book, and thank you so much, Sarah Caroli, for recommending this, because this is literally everything. And I actually never told her I finished it. I have to text her. Absolutely insane. Great. It's great. This book follows Magnolia, who lives in London. The setting is in London. That's where this book takes place. And she was in a relationship with this guy, BJ, for 3 years, I believe. And then something happened, and now they're still best friends, basically. But like, things are off because something happened. And at the end, they reveal that something that happened was very deeper than she even thought. And it's just like, you have to read this. You have to read it. I rated this one 4.25 stars, and it would have been a 5-star read. It really would have. It's just, I was listening to the audio of it, and the day I was like 60% in when my family was over, so I was like toning out of the audiobook, and I was like missing some things. But if everything was clear, this would have been a 5-star read, because it's so good. I really love it, since I cannot wait to continue the series, and like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited because this is so good. Like, I cried at the end. Amazing. The way I would describe this book is basically Gossip Girl in London. basically. Like, that's how I would describe it. And I feel like this relationship, I don't know if it reminds me more of Blair and Chuck or if it reminds me more of Blair and Nate, but it's one of them. And I love this book. Covered it. And that's pretty much all the books I really sat there and like finished. But for the majority of the month, I was reading Fourth Wing on my Kindle and really enjoying it. I got like about 100 pages in, but it just like got to the point where it just feels like summer and I don't really want to read a fantasy, but I think I am going to finish it this month. So we'll see about that. That's the end of all the books I read for the month. Okay, so we have officially made it to the segment where I pick a book from the TBR jar out of my physical TBR, which actually is really funny, guys, because I put together a TBR cart, which we love love it. But so I'm gonna pick a book. I think they're from there, like they're probably gonna be on there from TBR jar, and we'll see. But if I really don't want to read it, I'm not going to, so we'll see. Oh my god, I was not expecting this. 1,000 Boy Kisses. Okay, so it's on our TBR for the month. 1,000 Boy Kisses is what we will be reading. I feel like this month I really want to mood read, so I don't know. I feel like reading whatever I want at the moment. Right now, I'm about to start The Love Hypothesis, which is like, wasn't even on my radar, but there's a bunch of books I really want to read. And I'm looking at my TBR cart, and I'm just like so excited to read all these. So yeah. I've heard a lot of good things. I've heard a lot of tears come, but in July, I remember last July, there was a lot of me reading books that broke my heart. So yeah, we'll see. Okay guys, that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me talk about the books I read in the month of June, and there will probably be so much more to talk about in July, and I'm very excited for that wrap up. That's gonna be really fun. But yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one. You guys can like, comment what you guys read this month, and subscribe if you guys want to. But yeah, that ends this video. Bye guys.